This is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. I really appreciate you joining me today, and this is some news coming from London. Thank you to everyone's patience while I was ill last week, and a lot of news to catch up on, and this is the only delay. And there's been a lot of stories that have got little coverage, and they've involved shootings involving a shooting of a woman in Wolverhampton and also 2 children. The first story of this episode coming from London is the murder of Johanita Dogbey, who was 31 years old and murdered in Stockwell Park Walk, Brixton, at 4 p.m. on Monday. She was pronounced dead at the scene, and it is believed that she was murdered by a stranger. And due to the developments in this case, we have to be very careful what we discuss so as not to affect any trial and prevent the family from getting any justice. What we did learn from the initial story is that she was approached from behind and attacked, and it is believed that the attacker was not known to her, and she was simply walking home with a gift for her mother, whose birthday was the following day. Our reporter Dave Nathan went to the scene and documented the police investigation, and there was a large cordon covering several roads in the area. A blue tent was on the corner where they believed that the incident took place. Forensics were also taking photographs of the scene as the investigation developed. The most recent statement from the police is that a man has been charged with the murder of Johanita Dogbey. Mohammed Noor, 33 years old from SW8, has been charged with murder and possession of an offensive weapon. He has also been charged with a further account of possession of an offensive weapon and 3 counts of GBH against 2 women and a man on 3 separate occasions. He is believed to have stabbed 3 people in 3 different locations in a 1-hour period 2 days before the murder of Johanita. So this is definitely something that we're going to have to discuss after the trial, and whether there's going to be an investigation as to why it took so long for him to be arrested, or if anything could have been done to have prevented what occurred. So I want to send my condolences to the family of Johanita, and I'll definitely keep you updated with this story and a further reminder of the dangers that face women every single day just walking home and strangers that may attack them. I want to discuss a big story that made it to the national news on the 2nd of May. Thank you to Dave Nathan for his coverage from the scene, and it covers the incident where a man is believed to have thrown shotgun cartridges into the palace grounds. A 59-year-old male was arrested on suspicion of an offensive weapon and was searched, and a knife was also found. He was not in possession of a firearm. He was also found in possession of a bag that the police believe was suspicious, and a controlled explosion took place. The cordon was later removed, and the man has been arrested and now been sectioned under the Mental Health Act. Dave's footage from the scene shows a large police response and also the bomb squad arriving at Buckingham Palace and shutting down the street. So thankfully nobody was injured, and I'll definitely keep you updated on the outcome of the trial in relation to that if he does get charged with any other offences and appears in court. In a more recent story on the 5th of May, a 16-year-old boy was fatally stabbed on Markhouse Road, E17, and the air ambulance attended, but despite the best efforts of the paramedics, they was unable to save his life. His family have been supported by specially trained police, and they will continue to receive care as the investigation progresses. DCI Rogers has outlined the case to the public and said that his team are working hard to bring justice to the family of this teenager. This is a fast-moving investigation, and the murder took place near a school, and it was witnessed by a lot of young people. The cause of death after a post-mortem was determined as a stab wound to the chest, and Dave Nathan's coverage from the scene shows the police cordon and the investigation that is underway. This case is in the very early stages, so we have to be really careful how we discuss it, but I want to pay my condolences to the family of the victim, and I'll definitely keep you updated on the progress of this story. On the same day, in some other news in Dagenham, an 18-year-old boy lost his life after reports that 2 groups were fighting with machetes near the tube station. At 10 to 12 on Friday the 5th of May, police were called to reports of a man injured, found with stab wounds in Dagenham. The ambulance service attended, and an 18-year-old male was found at the scene with multiple stab wounds. Despite the efforts of emergency services, he died at the scene. His family have been made aware, and a post-mortem is scheduled in due time. A second male was taken to hospital with stab injuries, and he is not believed to be in a life-threatening condition. There is a very large cordon and a number of crime scenes that have been put in place. A 20-year-old has been arrested on suspicion of murder and remains in police custody. Detective Inspector James Shirley said, "My thoughts are with the family of the victim, and I want to reassure the public that we will do everything we can to bring those responsible to justice." Dave Nathan's coverage from the scene shows the forensic officers gathering evidence and how big the cordon actually is. It's very early days in this investigation, but we'll definitely keep you updated on the progression and also the identity of the victim in this case. I really appreciate you joining me for this roundup, and there's plenty more news on the way. Please don't forget to subscribe if you're new and send your stories to news@scarcitystudios.com.
They made you run halfway across London.
Spinning out a car. Makes more sense to me. One door.
Yeah,
anyway, one in and out.
Slinging cones about and stuff.
Yeah. I think I was just looking for the most. I don't think quite wide fit through any of that. Going all the way backwards to the three. The gap.
You just have to take the carriage.